Thank you so much, sir. So, would like you first
Hmm.
of all to introduce yourself, then tell us your experiences, sir.
Okay, yeah. So my name's Paul Northridge. So my experience was when I was 14 years old. Um, Basically, I was born with the spina bifida. Spina bifida is a problem with the spine mainly. So I had a lot of operations from birth to 16 years of age. And anyway, the particular operation that I was about to have was called a leg lengthening operation because my right leg was no longer as good as my left leg at that age, and it was around about well, there's a big difference of length. So my surgeon decided to give me a leg lengthening operation. So to have the leg lengthening operation, I had to have obviously a thing called a muscle relaxant. It was to make the muscles relax on the leg, so they could perform this operation. So that was the main thing on that side of things. So as I was having this muscle relaxant given to me, I didn't feel very well. As soon as it went into me, I felt like a whoosh coming over my body, and hard to describe, but it was quite painful. And I was already thinking like, my hands are hurting me. So I looked at my hands and I'm thinking, oh my God, godness, it's like it's red, it's swollen. I'm thinking, oh dear, what's this? And like I said, I was 14 years old, and I'm thinking this is unusual. And so I said to my surgeon, Mr. Newton has done all my operations, and he knows me very, very well. And I said, Mr. Newton, please look at this. And so he's in the theatre with me, and he turns around and then sees me, and I thinking that my face was obviously red as well and swollen. I'm presuming it would be. And so he's looking at me, and we're looking at each other. And next thing you know, I'm out. I'm seeing black. I can actually see black, and I'm aware of black in my vision. I don't have any eyes now at this time, but I can actually distinctly remember seeing black, and it's like someone's pulled the plug out. But I can still then, from no longer being the body, I was now the soul. So yeah, so the plug is pulled out, and so as I'm seeing black, I don't know how long for, but then I'm next thing I'm seeing is I'm coming away from my body, and I'm coming about of an angle. So I'm not straight over my body. I'm at an angle, and I can see by then like nurses, doctors around my body and trying to help me. I'm not panicking. I'm not scared. I'm more like the soul at the time. So I'm no longer thinking as a human being now. Okay, so it's very hard to tell you exactly how I am because I'm no longer a human being now. So I'm seeing my body and I'm thinking, oh, that's my body, like a vehicle looking at a car, like, oh, that used to be my car, kind of a thing. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not panicking about that. And I'm just getting my bearings ready. I'm thinking, okay, that's my body, that's Mr. Newton, my surgeon. But then I'm noticing beings coming across. It almost looks like on the theatre wall that there was a portal opening up. Like it's hard to describe, but it's like translucent wall, and I could then see beings coming down this wall towards me, and they were uh, basically like myself, I think, because I think by this stage we are all the same. And I'm thinking that they're looking like silver in main color, like a silver, but also shiny, translucent. They've got no eyes, they've got no ears, they've got no arms, got no legs. So I can see like a head, and then I can see like shoulders in type of a shape of it. And after that, then it all like evaporates a little bit. So I can't see anything more. There's no arms, there's no legs. So from seeing that, they're coming over to me, and we're talking telepathically, and they're saying to me, "Do you want to come away from this area now?" Um, I felt like I know them, and I felt that I've known them before in my soul, and so I'm agreeing with them. Yes, I'll come away from here. I'm not horrified by seeing my body, and it's not like at that moment, it's not saying you're coming away from that life now completely. It's not saying to me, you finish this life, let's move on to the next life. It wasn't that kind of a decision. It was like a moment of, you want to come away from this particular area, and I agreed. So, and then as soon as I agreed, then I came into another area, and this area is very hard to describe. It's beautiful. It's lots of colors. There's no land, and there's no sky. It's not Earth. You can't describe it as an Earth because it's not an Earth. There's no buildings. Some people describe buildings, and some people described trees and things like that. I didn't. From my own experiences, I didn't. But anyway, so I'm seeing people, souls arriving. So basically, I came with guides, and when I'm almost noticing other souls arriving with their guides as well. So I can see that happening as I arrive here. I can see other ones arriving too. It's very vast. It's very enormous area. I can see that as I'm traveling, I'm not walking. I'm like moving with my guides. I'm not, like I say, I've got no legs, so I'm not walking anymore. And because I've got spina bifida, walking, when I reflect on it, it's like it's really nice feeling of like you don't need to walk, and you can fly. There's not a sky, but you can be on the ground area, or you can be in the air area. But again, you're not. You got no arms, you got no legs. So as I'm going past this next bit, I'm seeing a soul down below, and next to me, almost as I'm going past them, the guides are saying to me, "Please leave this soul alone, because this soul's having like many colors happening." I could see like they had like a cocoon around them, so it was like many colors going off, and it's hard to describe. But anyway, they said to me that this person's had a bit of a trauma, and they're here to like recuperate. So I left them alone. So that's that one. And then next thing I was to have was a life review. So the life review was basically like a well. I could see in this like a well. It's not like a well, but it's the best thing I could say it's near to. It looks like a well. Some people said it looks like a TV. So I could say that, yeah, it looks similar, but it's more like a well to me. Okay. So I'm seeing then in this well, as it comes into my vision, because as soon as I look at the well, it comes into me. I come like I basically like connect with it, and as I'm seeing the well through my eyes, I could be then past, I could be present, I could be future, and I could see everything. In one go, I could see everything. So in the past wise, I saw myself from younger child, and I was around about 6, 7, and I could see myself because because I was born with spina bifida. I have a terrible walking problem. Children recognise that, and in school they used to bully me a lot, and so I used to be bullied, so much that I thought, okay, enough. I'm going to change it. I'm going to bully this time. And it's only for a short period. It wasn't the best time of my life, I'll be honest with you, but I bullied for a short time just to get a bit of power, a bit of control back in my own esteem. And so as I bullied these children, I then on this life review, I could see their experiences. I could see what they're thinking. They're thinking, "Oh gosh, why is he doing that to me? Why is he hurting me?" And the confusion, the pain. I felt everything that they felt. So I felt coming out from this into me again. I feel that we are definitely all connected to each other, and any pain I cause another person, I will learn about it in my review. I will learn about it. Then I saw present. I saw my parents. They were in the kitchen, and I could see their emotions. I could hear what they're thinking. Paul's having his operation now. I wonder how he's doing. We're going to plan nice food for him. So when he comes out of his operation, we'll have some nice food for him. All these thoughts I could feel that they were thinking. So I could see that too. Then I could then see future. Lots of things did not really understand until I get older. I can see things now in my own retrospect. I can see it. But at 14, I thought, why did I see all these things? Because I saw myself driving. And I'll be honest with you, because I can't walk very well, I thought I won't be driving. But I did see someone, and I thought it was me, driving, and I'm really excited and really happy. And when I passed my driving test, I was over the moon. I was like, whoa, I'm driving, I can't believe it. So it's that kind of a feeling, and I felt like maybe that was the memory I was seeing it ahead of me. I saw a memory of Russia, and my wife is Russian, and again at 14, I didn't recognize any connection to Russia, but now I do. And I also saw maybe a future death, because I see like an older person in Russia. It looks like a Russia kind of country. I see one lady beside the bed, and I see another lady beside the bed on the other side. And I have a wife, I have a daughter, and I'm presuming it's going to be my future death, and it could be in Russia. And the most funny, or not funny, most surreal thing as well is that when I had this life review, I saw previous death, and it looks like a whole lot of death that happened. I didn't see a lot of lives, but I saw deaths. So I saw many different ways of how I died. If I reincarnate, I saw one person dying on spikes, wooden spikes. It looked like it was Greek or Egyptian, Roman. But anyway, I was dying on wooden spikes, and that was very, very graphic. But again, I wasn't really horrified as my soul is. Wasn't horrified. So when I came back out in my human existence, I thought, well, that was quite horrible. But yeah, so that was basically that side. Once I've done my life review, then I was offered by my guides to come back out. So they said, Paul, they didn't give me names, but they said, do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to go back to Paul, being Paul again? And I thought, well, I'm young. I miss my parents, my family, and I realized also that I'm going to have this life again. I want to have these experiences again. So I thought I better. I don't want to go through all these school experiences again. And I thought, yeah, I want to go back. And so I agreed. And as I'm agreeing to go back to being me again, being back to Paul again, I saw like a light. Everyone says they see a light, or a lot of people say they see a light. I saw a light at that point, and it was like evolving light, beautiful, warm, not blinding because I haven't got any eyes. But that's where I saw the light. And once I do agree to go back, I woke up in hospital, quite energetic, really. To be honest with you, it was like I was full of energy for some reason. Yeah, so that was my experiences.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really believe in incarnation? Do you believe that we reincarnate in life?
Mm-hmm. I do. From that experiences, yes, I do. Yes, and it feels inside me. Even from young, before this experience, I remember when I was maybe like an infant, maybe like 3, 4 years old, and I was saying to my mum so many things about I was something else, and I remember this kind of conversation, thinking like, I was something else before this, and I couldn't really, with my child language, I couldn't really describe it to my mum too much. But I remember being in the bath with my mum, trying to explain to her that I was a previous person. I mean, really, each period is very unusual. I mean, we are living in a technical world now, and it's not the best times, to be honest with you. I feel I think it's quite scary. I'm very very concerned about the future, especially with how AI is going. It's going to be very very intelligent, too intelligent, and we don't know how to control it eventually, I think. And it feels like a scary film almost, that we're heading. But cavemen wise, yeah, I think yeah, I agree with you as well. It's not we didn't have the best healthcare. Maybe we didn't understand how to communicate well with each other. We still don't communicate well with each other. We're still very we're not unity. We're not loving each other still as much as we could. We can do better. We can do better than this, and we are also very much about arguing with each other about small things, but we really need to be more unity. We need to be more harmony with each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So how did your life change after that experience?
Because I was 14, I didn't know much about near-death experiences. So when I came out of this experience at 14, I thought it was a very weird dream. I thought it was just a whole lot of experiences, that it was just a very surreal dream. And then when I was about 23, 24, I was watching TV and it was about near-death experiences. I thought, well, okay, put it on, watch it. And these people were saying they came out of the body, they had a life review. And I'm thinking, hang on a second, that was exactly what I saw. And I'm thinking, so that must have been then all the kind of steps that I had, because Mr. Newton, the surgeon, when he came round to visit me in the hospital with my parents, he said to my parents, unfortunately, we had to resuscitate me. So they had to like explain the reasons why. And I had a big sticker on my folder saying this medication is really bad for Paul. Do not give it him again. So yeah, so he explained that I did die. I think basically my heart stopped when the muscle relaxant was given. I think the heart basically packed up, and yeah, so they had to resuscitate me on that basis. So only when I got 20 something, I thought, actually, yes, it happened to me. Then I'm sort of thinking, okay, so the driving, I could understand it. I still didn't understand Russia because I got married really late 30s. I got married then in Russia, and so what I saw was a wedding ceremony, but it wasn't a wedding ceremony like I normally would see, because in England we would have like a bride who's in a white dress, me in a suit. But in Russia, my wife decided she didn't want a white dress. She wanted a certain blue color dress, and yeah, and it was done in a registry office. So it wasn't done in a church, and so all these things are thinking to myself, okay, so what was that, and why didn't I see a church wedding? Why didn't I? I didn't understand a lot of it, and yeah, so now I do.
Thank you so much. That's your story has actually helped to reaffirm my belief that there's a reincarnation. Like
Mm-hmm.
my grandmom, if you tell her that there's no reincarnation, she's ready to fight you,
Oh,
because
really? Okay.
yeah, she will show you, like, give you different examples of people she know who has reincarnated. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there's sometimes there are people that died in a village. They give them some marks on their body before burying them.
Mm-hmm.
And before you
Yeah.
know, another child is born, is bearing that mark. So she has so
Yeah.
many stories that she shares about reincarnation. She believes so
Mm-hmm.
much in it. And this
Yeah.
story has really helped to reaffirm that we actually reincarnate. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we
I,
come
I
and we go.
Yeah, I do. I do believe that we do reincarnate, and also I believe that we have like a bit of a choice of what we're going to be incarnating as this time. You know, next soul. So, for example, I might upset a few people here, and I hope I don't. But it's not my wish to annoy people. But I truly believe that I decided to have a disability this time as a soul. Um, I'm not thinking as a human being, but as a soul at the time. I'm thinking to to have different experiences and to have a disability this time was my soul's purpose this time. So in this particular instance, I'm learning patience. I'm learning a lot about unity and love, and just yeah, that's the things I'm learning in this time. So I feel that my soul is progressing quite well in this instance, and maybe next time I'll be something else, a bit more of the lessons to learn. I hope.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in that too. I don't know about how the world is going to end, because if we just keep reincarnating, I don't know if there's a plan to end the world or something. But I actually really believe in reincarnation, though. I believe so
Hmm.
much in reincarnation
Yeah.
because I've read stories of children people were able to tell about their past lives, who remember their past lives, and they investigate them and discover that everything they said were true.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
I remember one story about a girl that remembers seeing a family, and so when she was living in her new family, she's saying like, "You're not my mum, you're not my dad. My family is in this other town," and so it was I think it was in India at the time, and they decided then to travel to this other town. It was miles and miles away. It's like a day trip, and they get there, and she said she got when she arrived, and she said, "Mom, Dad." She ran over to her parents, obviously not her real parents, and yeah, she was describing everything that she saw. She said, "I died in this lake over here," and she walked over towards the lake and said, "Yeah, my daughter died in this water." Yeah, so all these kind of things that she remembered, and I thought, yeah, wow, and that's proof to me.